Well, good morning, students of Standard 9. Today I come here to present If I Were You, a play, the longest chapter of your book Beehive. This play has two characters. One is Gerard and the other one is the intruder who wanted to take Gerard's identity. This has been written by Douglas James. So let's figure out something about Mr. Douglas James. He is an American author. James W. Jim Douglas, born in 1937, is an American author, activist, and Christian theologian. He is a graduate of Santa Clara University. He and his wife Shelley Douglas founded the Ground Zero Center for Nonviolent Action in Paulsbo, Washington, and Mary's House, a Catholic worker house in Birmingham, Alabama. In 1997, the Douglases received the Scene in Terrace Award. Now, here is Mr. Douglas James. You can have a view of him. He's still alive and very active. Now, the explanation. I've converted the dialogues into paragraphs so that the explanation is comprehensible to you. The play is set in a small cottage. The room has an entrance on the right hand side with a curtain on it. There is another door to the left side of the room which is in use. The room has simple furniture, a small table to the left, a chair or two, and a small bed on the right side of the room. On the table, a telephone is kept. As the curtain of the stage is rolled up, Gerard is found standing by the table making a phone call. He is of medium height and is wearing spectacles that are of the shape of horns. He is wearing a lounge suit and a greatcoat. His voice indicates that he is cultured and well educated. Gerard is speaking on the phone. He says that the person should call him up directly. He adds that he would reach in 10 minutes, bids goodbye, and puts the receiver back on the phone. Then he goes to the divan and starts packing the stuff in a traveling bag. While he is busy packing, another man who is similar to Gerard enters the room, silently from the right side. He has a gun in one hand. He is dressed in bright colored dress, an overcoat, and a soft hat. He bumps into the table and Gerard turns around at the sound. Now, both the characters have been introduced. First one is Gerard, who is well educated, seems to be well educated and cultured. He is properly dressed. While there is an intruder who comes in from the right side, who has a gun in his hand. Obviously, he is the intruder, unwanted guest in the house, and he is flashily dressed, bright colored dress he is wearing, and he is clumsy. He bumps on the table as he enters the room. Gerard speaks pleasantly to the stranger and says that he is surprised to see him. The intruder says that he is glad to find Gerard happy to see him. He adds that Gerard won't remain happy when he comes to know of his intentions. The intruder asks Gerard to raise his hands. Gerard finds the intruder's behavior to be dramatic and not very natural. The intruder says that he is trying to be composed and he is short of words to complete the sentence. Now, Gerard didn't flinch at the sight of the intruder. He stayed calm. Right? And he said he was happy to see a stranger in his house. The intruder, in a very dramatic fashion, asks him to raise his hands, and Gerard took the behavior not to be very natural. And the intruder was at loss of words in trying to explain Gerard's behavior. He said, "You were trying to be composed." Gerard adds that he wants to say that he is trying to be calm and nonchalant, that is, not to show anxiety or enthusiasm. The nonchalant person stays calm, don't show anxiety or don't show any eagerness. The intruder thanks Gerard for completing the sentence and says that soon he will stop acting smart. He adds that he will torture him and make him crawl. Gerard says that the intruder could ask him anything, but before that he wanted to sit comfortably. The intruder commanded Gerard to sit on the chair and himself sits on the divan. He wants to talk about the two of them. As simple as that. So the intruder also threatened Gerard after that, finding Gerard being so calm and not being nervous. And then Gerard requested him to let him sit. He couldn't stand there talking, so he asked Gerard to sit on a chair, and he himself sat on the divan that was in the room. Gerard says that finally he has a person who is concerned about him and wants to know about his past. He adds that he would tell him about his life, how as a child he was stolen by a group of nomads, and why at the age of 32 years was he living all alone at his small cottage in Essex. By saying this, he developed an air of suspense around himself rather. The intruder was not intrigued by Gerard's words. He wanted answers to his set of questions and did not want to hear what Gerard had to say. He asked if Gerard lived there alone. Now Gerard started cooking up, when he asked about Gerard, he started cooking up a story that he was kidnapped by gypsies, nomads, then how he landed, he was 32 years of age, and how he was living alone in a small cottage in Essex. He tried to build a suspense around himself. He didn't want to clear the air around himself. The intruder wasn't interested in what Gerard was saying. He wanted answers to his own question. So the first question he asked was, did Gerard live alone? Gerard says that the way in which the intruder spoke made him feel that he was telling him that he lived alone rather than asking him if he did live alone. So he said, are you asking me or telling me, do I live alone? He added that the intruder's voice was not familiar, to imply that he wanted to know about him. He said the tone or the manner in which you speak is not familiar to that spoken in Essex. So he wanted to know more about the intruder. The intruder repeated his question with emphasis and asked Gerard if he lived there alone. Gerard asked what would the intruder do if he did not answer his question. The intruder warned that if he did not want any harm, then he should obey his orders. Right? Gerard tried every trick to confuse the intruder. He first said, whether you are telling me I live alone or whether you are asking. Second, he said your tone, your voice, your inflection, the accent is not normal here in Essex. So, this is natural or are you trying to make it up? Then he said, if I don't answer, what will you do? And the intruder threatened him that I am carrying a gun and I can torture you in many ways using this gun. So Gerard spoke intelligently and replied that his good sense reflected in his ability to avoid pain than the mere desire to avoid it. He asked the intruder about his opinion and addressed him as Mr. To indicate that he wanted to know his name. Now Gerard somehow was trying to trick the intruder in telling him more about himself. The intruder replied that he need not know his name, and on the other hand asked Gerard his Christian name. That is the name he was given when he was baptized in the church. Gerard replied that his Christian name was Vincent Charles. The intruder's next question was if Gerard had a car. Gerard replied negatively. So Gerard tried all his tricks to know more about the intruder, but the intruder was not going to tell him. Then he asked about Gerard's full name or the Christian name that he was given in the church, and he said his full name was Vincent Charles Gerard. So the intruder's next question was if Gerard had a car, to which Gerard replied negatively. The intruder said that Gerard was lying. He said that he was not foolish. He was smarter than him and knew that he had a car. He warned Gerard not to be fooled. Gerard asked the intruder if he was really an American or was he copying American accent. The intruder got angry and said that his gun was not a toy. He could harm Gerard and still would get a reply to his question. Gerard showed that he got scared and said that he would be happy to help the intruder. He accepted that he had a car and said that it was in the garage. So, this is the first part where the intruder was interrogating Gerard to know more about him or more about his whereabouts. Gerard somehow tried to confuse the intruder and later showed that he was scared of the intruder and started telling him facts about himself. In the next video, we will find out how the rest of the conversation went. So till we meet again in our next video, I hope that you take proper care of yourselves and study hard. Till we meet again, goodbye.